Hey there, good to see you again. Today I have something a bit different. When I first started this channel, I had an idea in my mind of what I wanted to do with it, and it had a lot more emphasis on creative writing and creative writing exercises. And so far, I've made more than 10 videos and I haven't touched a single creative writing exercise. So this is gonna be the first time I'm doing that. And the thing is that I love creative writing exercises because they allow me to practice without the overwhelming weight of publication. And I don't say publication, like let's say if your practice is writing your novel, then that has lots of weight because you will need to revise that eventually, you need to rework that until it becomes good, and that adds friction and stress to what sometimes just need to be an exercise. Creative writing exercises for me are an opportunity for me to practice my English, which is not my first language, and right now I struggle with it. So it's just a chance to practice. I have an exercise that I haven't seen a lot of. I'm not sure. I'm sure that I was not the one who came up with it, but I haven't seen people talking about it, so I'm gonna do it. So I grew up playing role-playing games, and I love them. And there will be more videos on this channel about role-playing games. But at some point when I was a teenager, the world was introduced to Magic the Gathering, and oh my god, that game changed everything for everyone. But it's not about that game, it's about the company that makes it. Because eventually that company tried to release a role-playing game. A traditional role-playing game where you have a game masters and players and they're basically coming up with story together, which is not what Magic the Gathering is all about. This company, the company that made Magic, ended up being purchased by another company and then another company, and they all now belong to Hasbro, and I have no idea who owns it. I don't know if it's Wizards of the Coast, if it is White Wolf, who knows. I'm kind of lost. I know that they're all under the same umbrella now. So now you have like Magic stuff in Dungeons and Dragons, it's kind of odd. But at that time, when companies were still separate, the company that made Magic tried to push a role-playing game into the market. And that game was different than other fantasy games because it was not the first one to do this, but that's not common anyway. It was a game that used cards instead of dice. So it was card mechanics. You had something that was similar to a tarot deck for the mechanical part. But what is important is that you also had a whole other set of cards that were vision cards, that they were made to inspire you and to help you develop the story. And you probably already know where I'm going with this. It's the vision cards. Like, the game is amazing, and the game is now back in the hands of the original creator. They launched the game is called Everway, and they launched the Everway company, and they're brand new releases of the game. So if you want, I'll try to put a link in the description. You can pick brand new copies of Everway. But for us creative writers, I think that the most valuable part, and it's invaluable, are the vision cards. And they, just like Magic the Gathering, they used to come like the game box had some of them, but you could also buy little booster packs of more cards and then trade cards with your friends, and those are the vision cards. And the vision cards, I have a stack of them here. I have a stack of vision cards. So one side has art, inspiring, fantastical art. And the other side, and I'll need to put my glasses for this, because I really cannot read without them. But there is a very strong light here, so there will be some reflex. I'm sorry. So now I can actually see, and I can show you some cards very briefly. And the cards have, on the other side, they have prompts. It's a vision card, it has the number of the card, and it usually has, I think, between 3 and 4 questions. So this card here, you have these two fantastic Asian characters, and you have like a kind of something that looks to me like a Chinese pagoda or something, being attacked by dragons. And this is card 9 of 90s. And the questions are, what is happening here? Who has drawn the man's attention? Where did the dragons come from? What interest does the woman have, if any, in the burning tower? This now is a bit of, looks to me like a 1001 Nights kind of vibe, like Arabian Nights kind of vibe. You have a genie, and you also have someone with power talking to the genie. This is card 22. The questions are, who is the being in the lower left corner? Why is she there? What purpose does the red flail carried by the man on the steps serve? The other question, there are vessels spilled all along the ground here. Might other vessels have inhabitants like the one in the foreground? Where will the group of people at the top of the stairs be later on this day? So it's always like these questions that make you think. They are supposed to inspire you. So you use those, in the game you use those cards for character creation, for story creation, for unblocking a story. But for me, they are writing prompts. So every day I'll pick a vision card, I'll look at it, I'll answer all the questions, and I'll create a bit of like flash fiction about the card. And it doesn't even need to be good or anything, it's just training my creativity, retraining my creativity, and exercising improvisation. Like, people use those online generator for prompts. This is much better because you can keep reusing them. You can pick the same card and find new things in it. The artwork is so dense. And that's important for me because I graduated from a film school, and I try to devote most of my learning towards script writing. And I used to write every day. I used to just open my eMate or my Newton, and I would type away scripts. And I had no problem coming with stories or anything. I was very creative. But for the past 20 years, I've been working with software development. And if you know anything about software development jobs, is that you're usually not creative at all. Like, there is a couple of acceptable best practices and way to do something. Most people are doing the same thing over and over again. I will not say that it's a mechanical job, but it's definitely not creative. And if you're finding a very creative solution to something, you're usually doing something wrong. Because most of the problems that web developers like me face have been solved before. We're basically just being kind of digital plumber, placing things together, like someone at Facebook, someone at Twitter, like moving buttons around and changing designs and connecting parts of the UI with backend APIs. That's all the same everywhere. It's not the exact same, but it feels the same. And that saps your creativity. You get into this kind of logic, mechanical mindset that makes creativity, it makes you weaker towards that. Like, I feel that I was more creative in the past. It's not that I have a lack of ideas, but I'm having some trouble developing them, trouble that I didn't have in the past, and I'm blaming my job. Because my job, it's stressful mentally, like you use a lot of mental capacity to do that, to do a mechanical job. So I don't know. It's like my creativity muscles are atrophied or something. So this kind of exercise helps a lot. It helps me train my prose in a fantastical context, because all these cards are fantasy. So you not have a prompt that's not that is not like from a fantasy standpoint. And it also helped me to think in more creative ways. And you can buy vision cards on eBay. You can go on eBay and look for Everway vision cards, and there are people selling just the cards, and you can just buy the cards if you want. And you will have a wonderful toolbox for your creativity. Like you are writing a a short story or a novel. Do you have like writer's block? Pick a couple cards, start looking at them, check the questions. Maybe that help unblocks you. That's how it works in the game. It might just as well work in the novel. So that's it. That's my exercise. I basically pick those cards, answer those prompts. I have some really nice notebooks where I can do that. It doesn't need to be a digital thing on your computer. It can just be pen and paper. It's just an exercise just for you. I've been toying with the idea of publishing those, not publishing as in like selling or anything like. I'm on Mastodon, which is like a Twitter competitor now, and they allow longer messages than Mastodon. So I've been thinking about maybe just posting my exercise every day on Mastodon or on Instagram, like a Instagram flash fiction kind of situation. I don't know. I've been toying with that. I don't know if that will add pressure and stress, and it will be not as fun as it is right now, because right now no one sees it, so it's very fun. And that's it. Maybe I'll post some, but not all of them. Who knows? Maybe I'll just put them on my Ko-Fi, and that will maybe incentivize people to donate me money. That's it. It's a very simple thing that will work for you in two ways: help you with your prose and help you with your creativity. That's it for this video. I hope you liked. I hope you're intrigued by Everway vision cards. I hope you get the game. Go on the new creator site, just get the game, play it with your friends. It's a fantastic, underrated role-playing game with a dreamlike feel. It's like fantasy, but it's like oniric fantasy. It feels like a fairy tale. Just go grab a copy. Like I have my copy from like the original game, and I'm tempted to get a new one. And that's it for today. Tell me your favorite exercise in the comments. And if you like this kind of video, please give me feedback, because I have a gazillion of exercises I like to do. And maybe I'll share them here on YouTube. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.